Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I am, as always, your host, AR the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about my 7-day Twitter ban, what got me banned, why I called Shannon Watts the fucking cunt that she is. That's pretty much what got me banned, by the way. And yeah, so forth and so on, and why you need to have tech monopolies actually do their job and adhere to the fucking First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution and freedom of speech, for that matter. And if you're not going to do that, then you're asking to be sued out fucking existence. What it is, dude. Period. End of story. Enough is enough of this Section 230 bullshit. Enough is enough of fucking having a bunch of asshole pieces of shit be able to go out there and fuck with people's lives and censor American citizens over a bunch of BS, dude. And try to be fucking publishers and also private companies and everything else like that. Because it's not the case at all anymore, dude. And honestly, the biggest problem I have with the whole thing is going to Section 230, and this is what I've talked about Internet Bill of Rights on this channel many times in the past, and I'll talk about it right now, actually. We need an Internet Bill of Rights, period, dude. We need to have legitimately the U.S. Constitution, the Bill of Rights, implemented into an Internet Bill of Rights. Specifically, the First, Second, and Fourth Amendments of the Constitution need to become what is the basis of an Internet Bill of Rights at this point. Whether it be freedom of speech or bear arms stuff or anything relating to illegal search and seizures and stuff like that. And my biggest problem is when you have people who are attempting to censor your freedom of speech because you're calling out a literal anti-gunner, a woman, in Shannon Watts, by the way, who has legitimately murdered more people while working for fucking Monsanto and creating GMO bullshit that's been put in our food supply for the last 20 fucking years or more, than any firearm that any legal gun in this country has ever had. Yeah, there's a fucking problem right there, dude. The fact that Shannon Watts is not sitting in federal prison for the rest of her life right now is everything that's wrong with this country currently, dude. Same thing with Michael Bloomberg, etc., dude. And I'll leave it at that, honestly, because truthfully, all these fucking people, if we were living in a just society, would be 6 feet fucking under right now, dude. They would have already been publicly executed for high treason against the American people, for crimes against humanity, and a bunch of other shit for that matter, dude. But of course, the pussy ass fucking cops out there don't want to do their fucking job, is what it is. Or the pussy ass fucking Fed boys don't want to do their fucking job. Instead, they'll sit there and federally swat people like me, is what it is, dude. For saying this kind of stuff. And it's a bunch of bullshit, dude. Entirely. But anyway. So yeah, we're going to get into what I actually... my direct tweet to Shannon Watts and why I basically went off on the whole thing I went off on the other day. So, essentially, what happened over the weekend was you had apparently come out that Lauren Boebert is going to be a grandmother now at like 38 or 39, whatever the hell she is. I think she's I think she's a little bit older than I am, is what it is, but not much. And apparently, it's her 17-year-old son is having a child with his like 15-year-old girlfriend or whatever it is. And so you had people like Shannon Watts be like, oh, and like see a bunch of stupid shit about it. That's what it is, dude. And I finally just had enough of her ass, dude, is what it was. I finally had enough of her and MDA and everything else like that, dude, because I'm sick and tired of these fucking people. And so what Watts said was to Boebert, Representative Lauren Boebert, who says Christian values make her opposed to sex education and abortion, yet she approves of unprotected sex between minors, refuses to say how old her 17-year-old son's impregnated partner is. You mean girlfriend, you dumb bitch? But that she's over the age of 14. And my response to her was, why don't you stop virtue signaling and stepping your ugly face into everyone else's business, Shannon, and get your own house in order? Oh yeah, it's because you're an uppity, hateful cunt. And of course, Twitter banned me for 7 days based on the fact that their stupid ass fucking bullshit of hate conduct is what it is, dude. Which again, any of these terms of service are absolute bullshit entirely, dude. They all directly fucking violate freedom of speech at that point, dude. Every single one of them. From fucking Twitter to Facebook to YouTube to fucking everything else for that matter on social media, dude. Every other social media. Instagram, all of them, dude. Any of that bullshit, any of these tech monopolies colluding with each other, it's all a bunch of crap, dude, entirely. And that's why I'm so fucking sick and tired of all these elderly geriatric motherfuckers that are currently sitting in office right now, dude. Because they don't know the first goddamn thing about the fucking internet, dude. And like I said, going back to the Section 230 thing at the very beginning here, you had that created during Bill Clinton's administration almost 30 fucking years ago, dude. Back in like 96, 97, somewhere in there. And the problem with Section 230 protections is you had the infancy of the fucking internet back in like 95 and 97 when that shit was created. And now it's 2023. We live in a whole different fucking era right now, dude. Where the modern day town square is the internet. And should be protected as such at this point. But because these fucking people don't want to do their goddamn job and actually work for the American people and understand what the fuck the internet even is for that matter, dude, and how it's actually used by American people every fucking day is what it is, dude. Sometimes for good, sometimes for bad. But should all be protecting their freedom of speech is what it is. That is the disconnect right there. And so when you have these bullshit ass fucking hearings in front of Senate or Congress or whatever the case be, it doesn't do shit, dude. Because half the time, or more, you have these motherfuckers colluding with each other. And I can get into a whole bunch of stuff about fucking 2020 and Facebook and everything else like that, dude. I'm not going to, is what it is. Because I don't want to get you on strike, is what it is. But you all know what happened there, dude. It's been proven that that's been fucking case, dude. Where you had Zuckerturd and fucking Democrats doing a bunch of shit is what it is, dude. And they're not the only ones for that matter, dude. You've had the Twitter files be dropped in the past, 3 months or so, or how long it's been since Elon Musk took over the site is what it was then. And it was all like censorship of conservatives and stuff like that, dude. And that's the thing. Like, when you are sitting there and you are actively fucking with people's freedoms to say and do what they want to say and do, it's bullshit, dude. Honestly, and I'm going to say it like it is right now, if we lived in a truly just society, even without an Internet Bill of Rights, every single one of these tech monopolies should be controlled by the user base. Period. End of fucking story, dude. And it should, and in that case of things, it should be protected under the actual Constitution of the United States of America, is what it is, man. And I don't care if every user is not from America or not, dude. The fact that we are supposedly the world police at this point, which is what we're always being fucking told we are, basically. And, we're basically a fund of the UN forever is what it is. And the fucking, everything else that matters what it is, dude. NATO and all that stuff like that. It's like, how the hell are we not fucking, like, number one when it comes to being able to tell other people what the fuck to do is what it is, dude? Seriously. And that's the thing. It's like, if nothing else, what you should have is you should have states at this point stepping the fuck up and passing through our own legislation at a state level to sue the shit out of tech monopolies, do is what it is. And every time somebody gets censored by one of them unjustly, like the way I did right there, for literally calling Shannon Watts the cunt that she is, we should be able to use state funds to sue these motherfuckers. And the second that happens, and the second you have, your Facebooks or your Twitters or your YouTube or whatever the case be, having, 100 lawsuits, 1,000 lawsuits, 1 million lawsuits, 10 million lawsuits from various states all across the country, they're going to shape up or they're going to get shipped the fuck out because they're going to be sued into oblivion and they're going to be owned by the American people after the fact. And that's what needs to happen right now, honestly, dude. And this is the entire problem right now with the bullshit terms of service thing. Because the thing is, it's not even like they're going to tell you, like, oh yeah, this is perfectly okay or whatever the case be, or this is not okay to say this or whatever the case be. And the thing that's even more bullshit about the whole thing entirely is, dude, I guarantee you that for me to get hit with that 7-day ban, it took one of Shannon Watts' little mom's demand action cunts to fucking do it, dude. To report my shit and it actually be reviewed and stuff like that. And I'll tell you why. Because I was on that site for over 5 hours after the fact before I was looking around or whatever the case be, came back on. Like I jumped off or whatever to do some other stuff or whatever for a little bit. Came back on and it was like 10 minutes before that I wasn't banned. And all of a sudden it was like, oh no, you're banned now or whatever the case be. And what's even more bullshit about the whole thing, and this is what really pissed me off about Twitter, by the way. So you basically have two options on that site, which are absolutely both bullshit options at this point, dude. It's either remove the fucking content in question. They have like a remove button or whatever the case be. You're still going with the 7-day ban, by the way, on top of that. You just don't have the ability to appeal it anymore. or it's appeal the shit, wait a day or two for them to fuck you over in the appeals process, and then still wait another 7 days on top of that. So instead of it being a 7-day ban, it's like an 8 or 9 day ban then. And it's like, what the fuck is that, dude? It's just it's complete and total censorship at this point, dude. And this is exactly why the more and more that this happens to me and everybody else in this country, dude, the more that I understand, this is exactly why our founding fathers wrote freedom of speech as the First Amendment and wrote the right to keep and bear arms as the Second Amendment, because they knew when you were censored to oblivion that it was time to take up arms against fucking tyrants, dude. And that is the truth of the matter at this point in time in history, dude. And whether that be, modern day version of that, whether that be the power of lawsuits or whatever the case be, taking up the power of the pen is what it is now with lawsuits and stuff like that, dude, or whatever the case be, is what's happening right now, honestly, dude. Because honestly, it's a bunch of shit. It's a bunch of shit to sit here and not be able to call people out for the incredibly disgusting behavior that they're doing is what it is, dude. And to have to be like some fucking wordsmith or whatever the case be, so you don't get a fucking week-long ban or a fucking day-long ban or a 12-hour ban, whatever the fuck it is, it doesn't matter, honestly, dude. Which, again, how the fuck are you going to give me a 7-day ban for that shit, dude? Yet there are people, specifically Antifa and BLM terrorists still on Twitter at this point, who are actively calling for the murder of American citizens, dude. And yet they're not being banned. It's a bunch of shit, dude, entirely. And again, it goes back to the whole two-tiered system of our fucking society right now, dude. Where if you're some fucking leftist turd sandwich piece of shit, you can sit there and do whatever the fuck you want to do and get away with everything. But God forbid you're either center or right of fucking center. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, you're literally the reincarnation of Hitler or whatever the case be. And they sit there and call you a Nazi every fucking 5 minutes, or call you a fucking xenophobe or a homophobe, or whatever the fuck the case be, dude. Or any kind of phobe is what it is. And it's all to fucking censor you, dude, is what it is. It's all to shut you down. It's all to fucking allow them to have the narrative. And I, for one, am sick and tired of it. And I guarantee other people are too, for that matter, dude. I've talked to many, many people across this country in the past couple of years who it seems like the more and more we see this shit, the more fed up we all get at this point, dude. And it's why you're seeing the pushback you're seeing now. It's why you're seeing the stuff happen to Wadsworth the other day, where you had, these various motherfuckers out there, like maybe 10, 20 deep or whatever, that were a couple of parents and, some small children that are obviously being abused by these people to be taken to fucking drag shows and stuff like that. And then you had a whole bunch of people come out of the woodwork and, go back against it. And there's actually a great piece of video. It's on News of Share's channel. I'm not going to share it today, but, Reed was out there, or not Reed, Ford Fisher was out there doing his stream or whatever it was, or whoever he had that thing working for him is what it is, dude. Because that guy has a couple people working for him is what it is. I'm not sure it was him out there doing it. I think it might have been, but it could have been somebody else for that matter too that actually works underneath him is what it is for that News of Share company. But anyway, so basically you had, the little Fed boys that call themselves Patriot Front out there waving around their little victory or death fucking flag. And actually it wasn't that little, it was pretty big actually. It was probably I'd say honestly, if you like put it next to a vehicle, it's probably the size of a vehicle, like in length. And yeah, they were basically just talking about like doing their like weird little chant or whatever the case being. You had some stupid leftist cunt out there who was part of the little fucking fruitcake mafia is what it is over there, dude. Talking about like basically heckling him was what it was. And it's like the thing of that is, dude, like honestly, and this is exactly why it shows that these Patriot Front guys are a bunch of Fed boys, because if they're not, I guarantee you there would have been about 6 of them stomping the shit out of that bitch that day, honestly, dude. And the fact that none of them did, it shows exactly what they are, is what it is, dude. And then on top of that, you had a bunch of right-wingers assaulted there that were just everyday people, is what it was, dude. You had to be maced and everything else like that. People fucking, these leftists that were a bunch of Antifa motherfuckers and stuff like that, and their little black bloc crap out there assaulting people and stuff like that. And the Wadsworth cops did fucking nothing, dude. And that's why, honestly, I would love to see any Ohioan that was there that day, this past weekend, to sue the shit out of everybody at this point, dude. To sue the Wadsworth PD into the fucking ground, to sue the Wadsworth mayor, to sue the Wadsworth city council for giving the stupid fucking permit, and to sue every fucking person around there, dude. And start suing individual officers at that matter for them on top of that, dude. So, Because honestly, that's how shit gets done. That's how shit changes, dude. It's either you do your fucking job as a law enforcement officer in this country, or you don't have one anymore, is what it is, man. And if you're going to allow a bunch of leftists to sit there and assault people and not allow people on the other side of the fucking aisle to, push back and punch back and stuff like that without being arrested for self-defense, then no. It's like, just get the fuck out of here, cops. You're not fucking needed here. Let society deal with this shit our fucking selves at this point, and you won't have any of these fucking drag events anymore, dude. Because society as a whole would just deal with that shit at this point, dude. I'm not going to go into any more detail on that of what would happen, because I'm not going to have another fucking federal swatting is what it is. But, yeah, needless to say, it would just be people just dealing with this, what it is, dude. And as they should at this point, honestly. So, anywho. There's a couple other things I want to talk about in this episode. And need to figure out exactly where I'm at right now here. Okay. So there's a couple other people I do want to talk about. These people are all from Colorado, by the way. They're various state reps and like ex-state senators and stuff like that from that state. So you had this Meg woman, who, by the way, has now since all this shit happened in Wadsworth there, came out in the last couple of days and was all like, "Oh, this is fucking ridiculous," and "Oh, you got neo-Nazis here at this event trying to fuck with the drag people, and the drag people are so under attack." It's like, shut the fuck up, cunt. You know nothing about anything, dude. If you actually did your job, Megan, you would actually know for a fact that the main fucking piece of shit that was on mass that claimed to be a neo-Nazi there lives in fucking Maine. He doesn't even live in the state of Ohio, and we don't want him here either for that matter. And that's the entire point of the fucking matter. But yeah, one of the other stupid ass things that she said before I got banned the other day, and I called her out for it, is she was talking about there in Colorado, said, "We must ensure access to reproductive health care and gender affirming care, protect patients and providers." And my response was, "What you really mean, Meg, is protect the kickbacks and envelopes full of cash you get bribed by Big Pharma and Planned Parenthood to keep funneling them lifetime patients." She never did respond back, by the way. They never do, man. And that's the entire point. They're all just a bunch of fucking scumbags, is what it is. And then you had this Kerry guy who was, I believe, an ex-state senator in Colorado, and I think he was actually like their Speaker of the House or whatever at one point. Or their state, or what is it called? Senate president, I think is what he was at one point in time in history. But yeah, this Kerry Donovan guy said, "Williams' legislative goals, abolishing abortion." By the way, they're talking about this Dave Williams guy who was elected as the Colorado GOP chair for the next couple of years. He says, "Williams' legislative goals, abolish abortion in Colorado, prohibit prohibition on abortion after 22 weeks, waiver to pay minimum wage, an amendment thanking those who protested on January 6th, and throwing out the 2020 election results," which we should have done 2 years ago at this point, honestly. And my response to that guy was, "I had a cousin who was born at 22 weeks, and he's a vibrant elementary school child now. You sick bastards in the Democrat Party are literally murdering children." And they are too, by the way. They always have been. It's the same thing here in Ohio right now, dude, where you had that piece of shit activist judge come out of the woodwork and be all like, "Oh no, we're going to fucking allow it to like 24 weeks or whatever the case be now." You're literally killing kids, dude. You are literally murdering the unborn at this point. And it's fucking disgusting. And then finally, the other thing I want to talk about here, which is this Jenny woman from Colorado as well. She's a state rep. Representative Jenny Wilford, who, by the way, is a mother here, says, "Democrats, no more thoughts and prayers. We are taking action. Republicans, don't infringe on our Second Amendment. Let's address root causes. Democrats, want to fund mental health, affordable housing, education, paid family leave. Republicans, nah, we're good. No government expansion." And my response to her was, "No, Jenny, what you really mean is Democrats in Colorado will be facing future lawsuits for not only infringing on the Second Amendment, but the Bruin and Heller rulings of the Supreme Court. See you in court later." And then the same fucking piece of shit, Jenny Wilford, they were also passing abortion legislation in Colorado the other day, and she had this picture on her Twitter account her and somebody else basically watching the passage of the shit said, "You have to be alive to get well. Today, Representative Epps and I passed HB 1202, overdose prevention centers out of the House, to all those advocates, orgs, and people that shared their stories and got us here. Thank you over you." Okay, so this was not about abortion. This was about the safe injection sites. But either way, dude, it's a bunch of fucking disgusting shit, dude. So it's like, okay, let us have a bunch of junkies who would have otherwise OD'd by their own stupidity is what it is. No, let's give them a fucking safe place to shoot up now and test their fucking drugs and make sure they're not doing fentanyl overdose and shit like that, dude. Of things I think they're heroin or crack, whatever the fuck it is, dude, they're smoking up is what it is. And pissing away taxpayer money to do it, by the way. Fuck that shit, dude. And like I said, fuck their abortion shit too, for that matter, because they're also pushing abortion too, is what it is, dude. And that's what they do, man. And that's the one thing, this is the one thing that always has pissed me off, you know, since my childhood, really. Since I've really been paying attention to politics and stuff like that, in my like late teens, early 20s is what it is there are two things that I see when it comes to the current, you know, basically uniparty, which is supposedly a two-party system right now of Democrat, Republican is what it is. So you have Democrats that are currently running in current year 2023 here on the most extreme, insane, psychotic fucking lunacy ever, which is kill kids in the womb, take your fucking gun rights, try to destroy the Second Amendment entirely, etc., 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 get elected by the same kind of fucking nut jobs as their voter bases, who should be in prison right now or a mental institution themselves for that matter, because they're all fucking psychotically insane is what it is. You know, it's inmates running asylum at this point. And when these Democrats finally seize power as a majority or supermajority, whatever it is, in the state houses and stuff like that, dude, what do? They ram through everything immediately. They don't give a fuck about court rulings. They don't give a fuck about anything else for that matter, dude. And what do Republicans do when they take power and get a supermajority? Fucking jerk off and do nothing, dude. Sit on their fucking hands, sit on their fucking asses. And we've seen that shit exactly happen here in Ohio, dude, in the past 6 months. You've had the supermajority Republicans get even bigger in the last election cycle. And what happened? You had the fucking party dividing of itself is what it is, dude. Because you had Jason Stevens fucking cuck out and go with Allison Russo and fucking 32 Democrats to get his ass elected as Speaker of the House here. And then meanwhile, has claimed now to be, you know, mending fences and you know, mending the rift between the Republican Party here in the state of Ohio. But yet still hasn't done jack shit here, dude, in the past couple of months. They still don't have the backpack bill through. They still have not done anything movement-wise with the Second Amendment Preservation Act at this point. It barely got a committee hearing the other day. You've had them do absolute jack shit with doing anything to make expanded castle doctrine into actual stand your ground right now by taking away the stupid-ass frivolous lawsuit legislation that's in it right now. You've had them do fuck all when it comes to getting Terry stops out of constitutional carry. They do fucking nothing, dude. They do absolutely fucking nothing. And this is exactly why, honestly, I am in a 2-stage fucking tier of my own life right now, which is 2024. I'm going to run for county commissioner against that piece of shit Bill Smith, hopefully take his fucking seat of power for 2 years, and then I'm going to use that as a springboard to run for fucking governor in 2026, dude. And I guarantee you, under an Adam Rogers governorship, this state is going to move on its fucking ass. It's going to get off its fucking ass once and for all, dude, and we are going to move at fucking light speed on shit, dude. Under my potential governorship at that point, dude, because I will be fucking full bore, going whole hog, fucking ramming shit through, dude. And I don't give a fuck if it fucking breaks federal government laws or anything else for that matter, dude, because you know what? Fuck any federal government gun control, dude, at this point. It's all unconstitutional. It all directly infringes on the Constitution, the Second Amendment of the Constitution, the American people's right to keep and bear arms, and they can all go fuck themselves, dude. I don't care if it's fucking NFA, the fucking GCA, the fucking Hughes Amendment, all that bullshit, dude. Fuck all that. No. It's out the fucking window under my fucking governorship, and we will start making fucking full auto again in the state of Ohio, dude. And if they want to take us to court, if they want to take us to fucking court battles, fine. Fuck it, man. We can do that. And we'll counter sue the fuck out of you, and we will win. And we will take the fucking shit down once and for all and remove almost 100 years of fucking tyranny in this country in one fucking fail swoop is what's going to happen there. Because we are not going to take it anymore, dude. I am sick and fucking tired of sitting here watching people in the fucking NRA, in the fucking GOA, in the fucking FPC, all these other fucking nationwide gun orgs do fucking nothing to fucking attack this shit and punch it the fuck out once and for all, dude. And it's time for Ohio Patriot Education Network and our fucking sister orgs to get the shit done in the next 3 fucking years. And do what needs to be done to make this shit reality in 2027. That's if we actually have a functioning country, by the way, at that point. Because the way things are going anymore, dude, I don't even know if it's going to make it that point, honestly. I don't know if we're not going to be in civil war in the next 6 months to 8 months at this point, honestly, dude. Hell, we might be in World War III by the end of the fucking year, for that matter. But yeah, other than that, my plan right now, county commissioner, governor's race. In the next 2 election cycles. So, yeah, shit's going to be changing real quick if I become governor of the state, dude. I will be the most constitutional governor ever, is what it'll be. I'll also be, by the way, the first bearded governor in the state of Ohio in the past, 100+ years or something. So, there is that. And that's the one thing I have realized recently, actually. It seems like a lot of these guys that are all clean-shaven are some of the biggest scumbags of all, dude. So, it's like, yeah, gotta back that bearded constitutionalist, baby. But, anyway, that's about it for today, though. I'll be back for another one. We're going to talk about some other stuff relating to one of the other, I forget exactly how many I put up here. It was 2 or 3 before this or whatever. But we're going to discuss some stuff here in a minute about the various stuff going on in Florida with Giffords and things like that is what it'll be. So, anyway, till then, I will see you guys in the next one.